A very good evening and thank you for joining me for the RTV News in English. My name is Bulletin. These are some of our top stories tonight. The International Monetary Fund has confirmed that Rwanda's economy continues to grow steadily and shows promising prospects for the future. Rwanda has joined the world in observing World Mental Health Day, a day dedicated to raising awareness about the challenges faced by people living with mental health conditions. And on the international scene, Venezuela opposition leader Maria Corina Machado won Nobel Peace Prize. We always value your presence, dear viewers. Now let's kick off today's edition. We will start with this communique from the Office of the Prime Minister. Pursuant to the Constitution of the Republic of Rwanda, especially in its Article 112, today, the 10th of October 2025, His Excellency the President has made the following appointments. The Office of the President, Colonel Regis Rwagasana Sankara, Deputy Director of Cabinet. In the Office of the Prime Minister, Ms. Viviane Mukakizima, Deputy Director of Cabinet. This was done at Kigali, 10th October 2025. Moving ahead, on Friday afternoon at Rugwiro Village, President Kagame met with Rita Roy, CEO of the MasterCard Foundation, and Sewit Aderom, the incoming CEO to succeed Ms. Roy in the new year. The discussion focused on foundation's work in Africa and partnership with Rwanda in key areas, including job creation, education, and skills development and entrepreneurship. To more news, the International Monetary Fund has confirmed that Rwanda's economy continues to grow steadily and shows promising prospects for the future thanks to their measures and reforms implemented by the government of Rwanda. The IMF assessment noted a clear path that Rwanda has towards safeguarding macroeconomic stability while advancing its development agenda. Prince Manzi has more on this.
The IMF team has reached a staff-level agreement with officials of the government of Rwanda on the sixth and final review of the three-year program designed to maintain macroeconomic stability, advance structural reforms, and strengthen economic resilience. Concluding the assessments of the country's economic policies, the IMF noted that Rwanda is performing well in key economic indicators and expressed confidence that the country's domestic economy will continue to grow steadily.
Despite facing consecutive shocks, Rwanda's economy continues to demonstrate strength and resilience. Using the rebased GDP series, the economy grew by 7.2% both in 2024 and in the first half of 2025, supported by robust performance of services, construction, and coffee exports. The IMF remains committed to supporting Rwanda in continuing to build on its strong policy foundations and advancing ongoing reform and development agenda.
It was also noted that although recent shocks and infrastructure spending have temporarily strained fiscal buffers, the new tax reforms are projected to boost revenue, strengthen domestic resource mobilization, and improve debt sustainability. Godfrey Kabera, Rwanda's Minister of State for Treasury, reassured those who were concerned that the increase in loans could pose a problem to the country's economy.
Icyambere tureba hano barebaga no kuvuga ngo uko amadeni agenda azamuka.
The first thing assessed was how the debt sustainability is reinforced by enhanced domestic resource mobilization. It is okay when the country's economy can pay off the debts on a good momentum. Second is the recently adopted tax package expected to increase the domestic revenue generated. The government of Rwanda continues to implement measures aimed at promoting sustainable economic growth through major projects designed to transform the country's economy and improve citizens' livelihoods in the years ahead. One of the flagship projects under close attention is the completion of the new Kigali International Airport, currently under construction in Bugesera district, with an investment worth $600 million US. Prince Manzi, RwandaTV News.
Moving ahead, Rwanda has joined the world in observing World Mental Health Day, a day dedicated to raising awareness about the challenges faced by people living with mental health conditions. Many still experience stigma within families and society, as well as limited access to quality services across different sectors. We have details. Some of the people living with mental health conditions say they were unaware of the origin of their illness, but sought treatment immediately. They note that beyond the personal setbacks caused by their condition, they still face social exclusion and isolation in everyday life. My lifestyle was disrupted because I wasn't able to continue with my daily activities at home, and it affected my husband's work as he couldn't concentrate due to my condition. However, the NUSPR organization has been very supportive, following up with us and helping me get back on track. Rose Umutesi, chairperson of the NUSPRA, an organization advocating for the rights of people with mental health disabilities, expresses concern that individuals with mental health continue to face stigmatization instead of support. She urges Rwandan society to embrace and empower people living with mental health conditions. It deeply hurts us to see this because it often follows certain symptoms. The problem is that many people don't recognize the signs of mental health issues, which prevents them from getting immediate help, sometimes before it reaches the point of suicide. We're doing everything possible to address this, including training people to recognize when someone's behavior is changing in an unusual ways. This way they can know how to provide support and help preserve the lives of those around them. Stephen Murenzi, the director of Rwanda Human Resources Management Organization, highlights that mental health challenges can also arise from daily work-related pressures. He emphasizes that everyone should care for their mental well-being as diligently as they care for their physical health. It is often difficult for employees to recognize the types of problems they are facing, especially when it comes to mental health. When this happens and employers or HRs are unaware, or if these issues are not discussed, we fail to provide the necessary support. This not only affects the individual, but also impacts work, as it is practically impossible to perform effectively when you are not mentally well. A new report from the World Health Organization reveals that over 1 billion people worldwide live with mental health disorders, including stress-related conditions, depression, anxiety, and others. The report calls for strong, coordinated global efforts to address these challenges. Despite the challenges, the WHO notes significant progress in the delivery of mental health services, with coverage increasing from 39% in 2020 to 80% in 2024, offering hope that treatment for depression, anxiety, and other neurological conditions is increasingly reaching those in need. The UK Minister of State for International Development and Africa, Baroness Jenny Chapman, has visited the Africa Center of Excellence for Sustainable Cooling and Cold Chain, a facility worth over $50 million, jointly funded by the governments of the United Kingdom and Rwanda. William Evans has more on this.
The African Center of Excellence for Sustainable Cooling and Cold Chain, ACES, which focuses on ensuring the efficiency and safety of cooling equipment, was visited by UK Minister of State, International Development and Africa, Baroness Jenny Chapman. The initiative aims to protect both human health and environment, addressing pollution caused by harmful cooling gases that contribute up to 7% of global emissions. The center, built at a cost exceeding $50 million, is a joint investment by the UK and Rwanda governments. Its director, Professor Toby Peters, explains the purpose of the minister's visit and their discussions.
They were very excited to see what we're doing, and they're very excited to understand how we are supporting the vision and strategy for Rwanda of empowering farmers, reducing food loss, creating economic opportunity, and particularly the work we're doing around youth and young people, women included. We've got lots of commitment and support from them. They're already funding this programme extensively. It's made possible by the financial commitment of the UK and Rwanda. But actually what's also important now is having their engagement, giving up their time to come and find out what we're doing, to meet with farmers, to meet with engineers, and then see how they can support this programme and roll it out into Rwanda and engage with farmers and refrigeration engineers.
Every year, up to 35% of Rwanda's agricultural produce is lost due to excessive heat and limited access to proper cooling storage facilities. Some farmers and their partners confirm that they continue to face significant losses because of the shortage of reliable cooling systems. We usually grow fruits and vegetables for export. Sometimes we have our goods ready for export, but fail to get cargo space for export. This forces us sometimes to keep our goods in stores, and some of them lack cooling capacity, thus causing our goods to go bad. And the more they lose water, the less they are needed on the international market. This could account for about 30%, and sometimes we make total losses. Dr. Jean-Baptiste Ndahituye, head of research at ACES, explains that they plan to establish community cooling hubs, shared cold storage facilities that will serve local communities.
We have an approach of a community cooling hub, which is actually real application of cooling and cold chain technologies that are sustainable in the community. We shall make it real in a way that we shall select a community in Rwanda, a real community that have members, a cooperative. Then we start a journey for them to acquire the knowledge and skill, then acquire the technology, build the business model around the technology, approach bank to finance it, and really be used in real operation to reduce food loss and increase their revenue. The backbone of community cooling hub is refrigeration technologies that cool food in order to preserve them for a long time and ensure safety, quality, and enable community to move food to higher value market.
Each year, between 25% and 30% of vaccines get spoiled due to the lack of proper cold storage facilities. Jean-Pierre Musabyimana, head of the One Healthy program at ACES, which integrates human, animal and plant health, outlines plans to bring cooling infrastructure closer to communities.
So we think it's timely that we come up with a futuristic model of vaccine delivery, vaccine distribution and delivery. So the project entails use of drones to distribute vaccines with a just-in-time model, so meaning instead of having stocks at health facilities where vaccination is taking place, you have a centralized storage, and then you send vaccine with drone when and where they are needed. So in this case, you are able to reduce the need for cooling at health facility. And we think this would be more sustainable even when you look at vaccines that are developed with the mRNA technology, because these vaccines are the ones that are in the pipelines currently, which means we are moving towards that direction in the near future. So that means we need also a sustainable way of distributing these vaccines.
Globally, 526 million tons of food, representing about 12% of total production, are lost annually. Food that could otherwise feed millions of people. Cooling equipment that uses gas contributes about 7% of total global pollution. William Evans, RwandaTV News.
Now, following the conclusion of the annual meeting of the International Organization for Standardization held in Rwanda, participants visited several initiatives contributing to improving the lives of Rwandans and people around the world. Among the activities carried out was the tree planting exercise in the Gikondo wetland, which is currently under rehabilitation. Participants commended Rwanda for the remarkable progress it has made in environmental conservation and biodiversity protection, noting that the country's efforts are evident part in its clean, safe and green cities. After the tree planting activity, delegates attending the ISO annual meeting toured the Arcade Africa, located in Masaka, a center that plays a key role in advancing medical knowledge through technology-based training, particularly in telemedicine. They also visited Rika University in Rwanda district, an institution that trains both Rwandans and international students in sustainable agriculture practices that protect the environment. The final stop was at Zipline Muhanga, an international drone delivery company that started operations in Rwanda, supplying blood and medical supplies to hospitals using pilotless drones. The company has now expanded its services to include the delivery of livestock semen to farmers. Still on local matters, investors are showing growing trust in small and medium-sized enterprises that are turning to the capital market for financing. This growing engagement is reflected in their continued participation through the purchase of corporate bonds issued by these companies. On Friday, Energy Cotel PLC, a company operating in the energy sector, listed new corporate bonds valued at 2 million Rwandan francs on the market. We have details. According to Pierre Celestin Gwabukumba, the Chief Executive Officer of the Rwanda Stock Exchange, investor subscription for Energy Cotel PLC's bond issuance reached 145%, underscoring the strong appeal and credibility that such companies are gaining on the market. In general, participation was at 145%, and they aimed for 2 billion and ended up receiving 2.9 billion. This indicates that participation has increased and others are likely to learn from this experience. Ferdi Turasenga, the Chief Executive Officer of Energy Cotel PLC, explained that this trust was built on the company's strong track record from its first bond issuance, where funds raised through the capital market were used effectively and repaid in full. Turasenga added that they are equally confident about meeting their obligations on this new issuance, which will further support the company's growth and expansion plans.
The journey continues, so even those who did not succeed to invest in our bond, I will tell them that very soon they'll hear from us, because like I said, it's a continued journey of progress and growth of our energy supply business. The journey continues, so
urugendo rurakomeje n'abandi batabashije gushora imari mu mpapuro mpeshamwenda zacu kuri iyi nshuro turabizeza ko bidatinze tuzagaruka. Nk'uko nabivuze, urugendo rurakomeje rwo kwagura ibikorwa byacu no guteza imbere ubucuruzi bwacu bw'ingufu z'amashanyarazi.
Supply business.
Proceeds raised through the capital market not only help businesses expand their operations, but also generate tangible benefits for communities surrounding their investment projects. Jean Gakwaya, the Executive Secretary of Solidact, an organization supported by the Energy Cotel PLC, noted that their mandate includes providing assistance to communities living near the company's power generation sites, an initiative that has already produced visible positive outcomes. The Rwanda Stock Exchange continues to play a key role as a bridge between investors and small or medium-sized enterprises seeking long-term capital to grow their businesses through a program known as the Capital Market Investment Clinic. To date, 8 corporate bond issuance from private companies have been listed on the market. The exchange currently lists 10 companies, including 5 local firms and 5 from Kenya and South Africa. Additionally, the government of Rwanda has issued 86 treasury bonds so far. To more news, the University of Rwanda College of Science and Technology has unveiled a device that uses technology to monitor air quality, determining whether the air in areas where vehicles operate is polluted or clean. William Evans has details.
This innovation, according to Dr. Eric Nizeimana, aims to provide timely information to institutions responsible for combating air pollution, helping them design effective environmental protection measures.
And we need with this device, which is a mobile device, that you can measure now the air quality starting to the point where the vehicle will be passing, and then from there you will be able to know really this place is potent or this place is not potent. And then now we need to move beyond of that, and then we'll use what we call large language models, where now you can just talk to a device, and then you can be getting the feedback accordingly.
So far, 10 of these devices have been deployed in different parts of Kigali. Some of the motorists using it say the device is designed to make them safer by avoiding areas with polluted air. With this device, I get to know places with polluted air so I can avoid them. One time, I was in a place and the device's alarm went off, alerting me that I was in a very risky zone. With the launch of this device, Professor Richard Musabe, the Dean of the School of ICT in the University of Rwanda, says it's proof that the University of Rwanda has the potential to solve societal problems through quality education.
At the university, it shows that we are providing quality education, and also we are solving society challenges. And as the center, it's also one of their targets to be able to produce research that can have an impact to the society. So in general, it is a huge milestone for our institution as a university and also the College of Science and Technology, but also it's a statement in itself that the quality of education we are offering can produce such outcomes that can solve problems in the society.
The representative of the Regional Scholarship and Innovation Fund, RSIF, Mrs. Ada Baraza, noted that Rwanda is becoming a technological and innovation powerhouse, and there are lessons to learn from it.
Rwanda as a country, I have noticed you're very technologically advanced. So most of the projects that are coming from Rwanda and University of Rwanda are in the theme of ICT, big data, and AI. Even on your streets, I've noticed how you have all these cameras that are manning the traffic instead of having people there. So for Rwanda, I admire your technological advancement, and I think Kenya, we can borrow a lift from you.
According to reports, over 7 million deaths occur per year, and 90% of them are due to pollution. This device's development and scaling will cost about $30,000. William Evans, RwandaTV News.
Moving ahead, over the past 27 years, Equity Bank has empowered more than 70,000 young leaders across the 4 East African countries where it operates. In the 5 years since the program launched in Rwanda, 246 students have benefited studying in various universities programs, with the first cohort set to graduate this year. The initiative, known as the Equity Leaders Program, targets outstanding high school graduates who lack the opportunity to pursue higher education. It provides full university scholarships both within their home countries and abroad, along with international level training in leadership, financial management, and professional conduct. Asma Isaka and Damaji Shema Eric, 2 students supported by the program, described the opportunity as life-changing and said they are determined to make the most of it.
Before I joined ELP, I used to think ELP was about an internship opportunity for academically gifted students like you yourselves here. But after joining ELP, I have realized that it is beyond academic excellence. ELP has been my journey to mind transformation. The program has challenged my way of seeing myself and the world. I have realized that from the training sessions I have received, from the mentorships and from the very professionals from the Bank of Equity, I have been taught that limitations can become possibilities, that fear can become courage, and that doubt can become a purpose.
When I joined this program, I thought of it initially as a recognition of past effort. The national exam results, the hard work, and the commitment that each one of us has put into our academics. But very quickly, as you land into the internship, you understand that the call was more than just a regular phone call. It was a call to a journey of growth in leadership, purpose, and community service. Equity Group Foundation trusts that we will use this opportunity for great purpose. The foundation expects each of us to uphold the highest values, to work with integrity and professionalism, to work with disciplined effort in pursuit of academic, personal, as well as corporate excellence.
Hamilton Namara, Managing Director of Equity Bank Rwanda, emphasized that the program is nurturing the next generation of leaders for various sectors of governance and management.
To us, as you know, education is a powerful tool in the journey of transforming lives, uplifting communities, and shaping nations. ELP scholars, you are not just celebrated for your academic excellence, but also for stepping into a journey of leadership, service, and responsibility, as Shema said. The path ahead will have challenges, but it will also be filled with opportunities. From those opportunities, you can learn, grow, and make a difference in your personal lives, your families, your friendships, your social circles, as well as your community.
Every journey has a beginning. From nature comes refreshing fruity goodness that keeps you going every day. With every pack complementing life's best moments. Not one, not two, but 5 different fruity flavors. And this journey keeps giving. Introducing Inyanji's new fruity juice flavors, guava and cocktail. Now available at your nearest shop. Always ask for Inyanji.
Nyiri muto arababwiraga data bati ntabwo wagira umukamo mwinshi utunze inka imwe, ariko nigeze acika intege. Mama akinjira mu bucuruzi hari abamubwiraga bati ntabwo watera imbere udakorera mu iduka rigezweho, ariko ntibyamusubije inyuma, yakoranaga umwete. Njye muri kaminuza hari abanshidikanyagaho bavuga ko nashobora kaminuza naturuka mu muryango wifashije, ariko byarangiye nangiza amateka mashya. Igihe cyo gutera ishema umuryango wanjye kigeze, bamwe bakomeje kumbwira bati ntabwo watera umuryango wawe ibyishimo n'ishema, ariko narabishoboye. Hari abakekaga ko nasigira umurage ukomeye abankomokaho, ariko ubu mfite uruganda rutunganya amata. Banki ya Kigali yabaye umufatanyabikorwa wanjye mu rugendo rwose, inzozi zanjye zibimamo. Bigereho.
You're still watching RTV News. Now to matters making headlines globally. Maria Corina Machado, Venezuela's opposition leader, has been awarded the 2025 Nobel Peace Prize for her relentless efforts to promote democratic rights and advocate for a peaceful transition from dictatorship to democracy in Venezuela. African News has more on this.
Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize on Friday, receiving acknowledgement as a woman who keeps the flame of democracy burning amid a growing darkness and for being a key unifying figure.
She is receiving the Nobel Peace Prize for her tireless work promoting democratic rights for the people of Venezuela and for her struggle to achieve a just and peaceful transition from dictatorship to democracy. As the leader of the democratic forces in Venezuela, Maria Corina Machado is one of the most extraordinary examples of civilian courage in Latin America in recent times. Ms. Machado has been a key unifying figure in a political opposition that was once deeply divided, an opposition that found common ground in the demand for free election and representative government. This is precisely what lies at the heart of democracy, our shared willingness to defend the principles of popular rule, even though we disagree.
Despite being disqualified from running for presidency, the 58-year-old Machado received the coveted award from hiding, where she remains due to threats from Maduro's government.
That brings us to the end of tonight's bulletin. Thank you so much for joining us. And on behalf of the entire news team, we wish you a restful weekend. Goodbye.